On Thursday night of that week, let me back up on the first night, my wife sitting beside me before church started, I said, honey, what's wrong? I could tell she's a little nervous. She said, Don, I won't get anything out of this if I have to sit by you. I said, I understand, honey, you do what you've got to do. So she got up, got her purse and her Bible, and went back across to the far side of the building. And it's as far away from me as she could get, and that's where she stayed, me on this opposite end of the building for that whole time. And that's the way we were for a week on Thursday of that week. St. Clair preached on the word in Luke chapter 20. If you fall on that rock, the rock being Jesus, you'll be broken. But if the rock falls on you, you'll be ground to powder. I never heard a message like that anywhere under any circumstance. I never heard anybody preach on brokenness. The next morning, counseling with Wayne Davis, Wayne looked me in the face and said, Don, what's God saying to you during these days? I said, Wayne, that sermon last night, I never heard anything like that. God just riddled me, just drove me to the wall with overwhelming conviction. And I said, God spoke to me last night. Wayne knew that we were at a defining moment. He leaned over the table that separated us and put his finger gently in my face and said, Don Graham, you're at a crossroad in your life. You're either going to fall on that rock and be broken, or it's going to fall on you and grind you to powder. I knew that I'd heard the truth, but I didn't like what I'd heard. But I knew what I had to do. Wayne prayed and got up and left. So counseling sessions previously lasted nearly all day. It was over in less than 5 minutes. He was gone. He left me alone with God all day long. I knew what I had to do that night. When I went to the service, the Life Action people, as most of you know, give an invitation to go to, don't have an altar call like some of us Baptists do, but to go to a prayer room, get along with God when God speaks to you. Before the preacher came to preach, I got my list, my Bible, and went back to the prayer room, knelt down on the floor. There were other people there. I was oblivious to that. I just fell out on that floor. I opened up those papers, and I read from Psalm 139, Psalm 51, and other places, and I cried out to God for help. Went down that long list of the ways I'd sinned against my wife and wounded her, and admitted to God that I had first of all sinned against him and hurting my wife as I had. And so I went down that list. It was a painful experience, guys. No way I could tell you it wasn't. It was very painful. I cannot explain to you. I don't have words to explain to you what happened to me. But when I confessed that last entry on that sheet of paper, everything that God had revealed to me, when I rose to my feet, I knew that my Heavenly Father had forgiven me. But I also knew that I had much ground to cover.